news leader here?
Yep.
Okay. GPS. That's why I should have a checklist. Remember that.
I got that.
If we can get them to sit up here, because I'm going to flip this paper, but I don't want to cover your...
Is this okay?
Yeah, you're fine there.
Want me to get some paper to stick up here that they'll sit on? Or that way? Maybe you're going to
It's all greased up.
Oh.
Say that on
Just olive oil. I don't know what that means.
I don't mean either.
I need this.
If I can run that up there.
Yeah, you can stick it out.
That'll work. This is just here for Mike, so I can stick this on here.
Oh, sure. That'll be easier. There we go.
There you go, sir.
I need to set up our new conference room with
Creative.
some sort of Wi-Fi or some sort of, some technology where they can all.
Okay, is everybody ready? You good to go? All right, thanks for coming today. I'm just going to run through a kind of a brief timeline of where we're at, kind of how I made this decision and the direction we're going, and address some of your questions up front. March 31st, I started with having a team of 2 architects, an engineer, and the county also hired a contractor to look at a redesign of the facility to increase population within our existing structure that we have now. Our average daily population today for the last 24 hours is 656. Some of you will ask me the question, what's the capacity of the jail? And I hope I can have that number for you soon, but I can tell you it's a lot less than we've had and we've held for some time now. April 1st, I sent a letter to all municipal police chiefs stating at 5 o'clock today, we will no longer accept prisoners with municipal charges. My staff has been in contact with all municipalities in Greene County, and I have had direct contact with the Springfield mayor, Springfield city manager, and the police chief, and we will be working cooperatively together for the next 90 days to come up with solutions to address our issue. I assure you this is not an ideal situation for anyone. What I have to do as sheriff is weigh our priorities. In 2005, all law enforcement agencies implemented a book and release policy. These included crimes are arson, assault on a law enforcement officer, burglary of your home, drugs, stalking, failure to register as a sex offender, resisting arrest, 7 different sex crimes, stealing, receiving stolen property, vehicle theft, and over 10 different weapons charges that we will book and release somebody on. That is not ideal, and that is not what we want for this county. In the past 10 days, we have held municipal prisoners for the following offenses: riding on the sidewalk, incapacitating instrument, failure to pay a cab, 1 for nuisances enumerated, 1 for failure to signal, 1 for no lights on a bike, 1 for no lights on a vehicle, 1 for smoking in a commercial building, 1 for no helmet, 4 for a prohibited pit bull, 1 for fireworks, 1 for an inoperable vehicle, 1 for maintenance of property, 4 for improper lane usage, 2 for no rabies tag, 7 for dog at large, 1 for walking along the roadway, 8 for no insurance, 2 for unreasonable loud noises, 1 for parking in an alley, 30 for no license, 5 in a park after closing, 28 for trespassing, and 40 for drug paraphernalia, plus 248 additional civil municipal ordinance violations. Those are people that's been held in jail in the last 10 days. Until I can create more space with what I have in a safe and secure environment, I have no choice but to rely on state law 479180 and to not take these civil violations that occurs in cities. I've been in contact with the Jackson County Sheriff, who advised me that their cities house inmates with neighboring county sheriffs that have room in their jails. This may be a solution, a temporary solution or a permanent solution, I'm not sure, until we can redesign our space and come up with the space we need. Today, in disappointment, I received an internet post of whom I told was the assistant police chief in Ash Grove, Missouri. Some of the quotes are, "This is another bully tactic of Sheriff Jim Arnott to force attacks down the throats of the community. What he is doing is a direct attack on every agency other than his own, and it's time for him to stop being a politician." I assure you, this is not regarding attacks. It is obviously not regarding politics or an attack on anyone or any department. I'm attempting to create space and solutions. I appreciate the city of Springfield working with us to try to come up with some solutions in the next 90 days. And I'll keep everyone posted on our progress as we continue. I assure you the Greene County Jail will accept all suspects charged with a criminal offense, both state and federal, just not municipal ordinance violations. Examples like I read to you previously. Let me give you a sample of what's in the Greene County Jail today, what kind of charges. I have 22 in for murder, 44 for sex crimes, 132 for assault, 75 for burglary, 6 for the abuse of a child, and 34 for robbery. We are doing the best we can with what we have, and as we move forward, I will keep you advised of our progress. In your packets, I have given you a sample letter, and it just happens to be the letter that I sent to the Ash Grove Police Department, a copy of a memo that I filled out for our employees so they understand what is going on. I also addressed the statute, so you have that 479-180, so you can read it. There's also a statute 221-040, which talks about that I have to take state prisoners, which is charged with what we call a crime, a misdemeanor or felony. And we'll continue to take those. The next statute that I included is 221-270, which says that a jailer or the sheriff must take United States prisoners. So there's no way that I can refuse United States prisoners also. The next thing is a daily population report. And at the top of it, this is just a snapshot in time. So on April 3rd at 8:57 this morning, we actually had 594 inmates in the facility. However, in the last 24 hours, our average daily population was 656. And I'll take any questions. Or not.
Just one question was kind of the timing of kind of why do it now and a few months ago, or what's kind of the timing for one?
You bet.
Yeah.
That's a good question. And as everyone I think knows, this is not a new issue. This is an issue we've talked about going back till shortly after we opened the jail of how we're going to run it and how we're going to accomplish things. But if you'll notice on the timeline that I talked about, I did have 2 architects in, I had an engineer to look at our facility and how we can upgrade it to hold more people. So the dilemma is, right now, the capacity is where it's at, and I need to get that capacity down. as much as I can. And the only way that I can do that is operating off this statute.
Did the architect seem hopeful? What was the feedback from that?
I think we can make some progress. That's the whole reason for bringing them in is to try to, I obviously don't have money in my budget to add on to the jail or build another jail. So we're looking at redesigning it, make it a safe and secure environment for not only the inmates, but obviously the staff. And so that's why I brought those experts in to tell me what number can we get to, where are we at.
Like moving storage units, making that space, what kind of redesign?
Actually, it's just reconfiguring what we have in existence. We have no storage. Our storage unit is a Connex container that's parked out here in our parking lot. So we have done a lot of things to increase our capacity and be able to push more people in there. The problem is we're at a point that I need to have the experts come in and tell me what direction we need to go.
So the Ash Grove Assistant Chief had his view. How was this received from other chiefs around the area?
Actually, everybody's been very professional, and although they don't like it, and I totally understand because my staff does not like it either, because a deputy roadside dealing with a municipal warrant also is hindered on how we can get things done. But they all understand. I mean, the ones that I've talked to personally understand. They say, it's been a long time coming. We knew something was going to happen at some point. We just didn't know when.
Sheriff, by doing this, two questions. One, how much space are you going to create? And then with the reconfiguration, will you take these inmates back in again from the city charges?
Good question. I don't know how much space I'll create. That's what I'm leaving them. They just started on it. So as soon as they give me some idea and we get some construction plans, I'll be able to comment on that. I don't have that back yet. And yes, once we get where we need to go, then I will accept municipal prisoners if I have the space.
Was there another recent reconfiguring of space to kind of give you all some more capacity?
Yes, there was.
When was that one?
That was last year, and we reconfigured our medical unit, took our medical unit, moved it down to where our booking area was, and we put a dormitory style housing unit on that floor. So we did do that.
And I've talked with a couple of different kind of city leaders today, and they've kind of mentioned that they didn't feel like they had a whole lot of time to prepare since the memo went out this week and then the change started on Friday. I guess what's kind of your response to that?
The population is what it is. I started on this project, or basically had the architects in there March 31st. I think I operated fairly quickly to know that I've got to do something. So I had to do something fairly quick. I gave them 2.5 days notice to figure out what their municipal courts are going to do with the warrants and how they want us to take care of them. And I also want to kind of remind you that this is, there's some people that push this as the sheriff against the police chiefs or the municipalities. It's simply not that. Obviously, some people think so, but really the issue is I want to create enough room for everyone, but I sure don't want to turn away. I don't want to book and release the people that we listed off there. The burglars, the car thieves, that's who we're kicking out of jail on felonies, but yet we're taking somebody for riding a skateboard down the sidewalk. It just doesn't make sense to do it that way until we have enough to keep the people that need to be there.
And, we had the attempted suicide, I guess, recently. Does that have anything to do with the recent
No.
changes?
No, it didn't.
So you're going to be in contact with city leaders over the next 90 days, assessing this? Is that kind of where what kind of timeline are you giving us to the reconfiguring?
Well, I think most of you know, or some of you may know, that the city sent me back, Springfield sent me a letter yesterday afternoon. I responded back with a letter also. So we've been in communication. The mayor's proposed 90 days that we work together for a solution. I'm 100%. If I can get a solution within 3 days, we'll be back together and on board. But I have a great relationship with the city. It's an uncomfortable situation for all of us, but everybody seems to understand. So we're going to go as quick as we can and try to come up with a solution. We do have a meeting at 2 o'clock. I think it's the joint city-county task force meeting. So, I mean, we're engaged, constantly engaged with this issue, and that's one of the top priorities, has been one of the top priorities. You go back to the Safety and Justice Roundtable, I think the number 2 priority was the capacity of the jail. The first priority was fixing the pension for city police officers. That's accomplished. So the next thing was the county jail, and here we're at. We're just we just have an issue, and we have to keep the people that needs to be in jail. A civil municipal ordinance violation at this point is something that I can't house. Anybody else? Well, thank you all for coming, appreciate it, and we'll keep you updated as we go. I know it'll be a hot topic for a while, so we'll keep you in the loop on our progress. Everything is open door that we're gonna try to work it in the public so people know what's going on. But I wanna make sure that everybody understands this is not, as accused on the internet, this is not a pitch for a tax, it's not a pitch for anything other than give me time to get our facility designed to where we can accept more people. And in the future, we always need to look at how we're going to expand our jail. We should have a 1,200 to 1,500 bed jail. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about today and making it through the weekend and dealing with our average daily population. So, thank you very much. These packets are up here so you can take them.
Thank you as always.
You betcha. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sharon.
You bet.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Here. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.